Sandra Vaynerchuk, and I'm here coming to you in my video form podcast which is called Cast on the Fly. As I usually don't take notes on things I want to educate the audience on, today I did write a few things down. We've been working rigorously on the platforms all morning long, and we produced already a few miniature podcasts. Our difficulties in production have been the internet. We're actually faster than what the internet can produce. You as an audience will find that your concern is more likely your feelings on the inside as you produce content and press it on to a platform. You're going to be bumping up against a lot of people that experience you as a threat, with jealousy, with meanness, with clickiness, with closed-mindedness. And those are like things that you really want to take a look at. So there's a lot of people out there who are teaching a lot of positivity. However, the realization around all of this is that you have to take a look at the reality of the way people actually are and distinguish it within yourself, so you can distinguish it over there with someone else. And then you can evolve that thing within yourself to create content, which then becomes a rapid pace of your clear-mindedness of production of information for someone else. So the self-serving nonsense that we often are seeing on these platforms with these people is no longer serving the audience. They are sick and tired of watching someone who doesn't educate you on a relationship or motherhood just so they can have like a jump off of self-esteem. When their jump off on a set of self-esteem is actually your downfall in self-esteem, which then creates your lack of desire to produce content. However, having a social media platform where you can feel free to produce content in a community of your local community or within your friendship circle should be something that you get to enjoy. However, these large, growing, overnight successes, what they call successes, have terrorized humanity to the point where people are in a silent depression. The external is that they're pleasing, they're agreeable, you enjoy it, but that's the manipulation. We're seeing a lot of trickle down from the top. So the leads in politics, such as the Obama regime, which have basically taken over all of the fake news mafia to create ideas in your head that just aren't true. And then if you can imagine the clearing of the space is your government, and that trickles down into the youth because that's their target. If you take a look at the things going on in New York City with the young generation rioting in the streets and the police basically not really doing a whole lot about it when your governor or your mayor is actually a BLM member as well as a Democrat. Now, how do you think this affects you on your platforms is that you're suppressed, you're depressed, and your creative is like the connection to creative is disconnected. And if you can imagine us going on a flow phase forward, there's bumps in the road, and there's, sides right to the left. However, this is like a complete deconstruct of everything that we have ever known in society, to recreate the meaning of words, to create a disempowerment that occurs as empowerment. That's like the hoax. So these folks don't actually understand spirituality, although they've been following my content for some time, and they have the opportunity and the platform to occur as if they know what they're speaking of, because they're actors and actresses, and they know how to block a barrier and create a terror barrier within you. They want you to be agreeable. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, that sounds great. That's how we end up in a World War II crisis. We are already in the crisis. However, I've worked diligently with my team to expose all of the garbage that the Democrats have been up to. You're literally watching it with Trump going to Georgia and being arraigned for charges that are absolutely ridiculous. So yes, you need to take a look at the fact that politics has nothing to do with your business. It has everything to do with your business. So with that being said, as a lot of us are sideswiped and suppressed into creating fullest versions of ourselves, it's opportune time to be producing content to explore that with yourself. Meaning eventually the tipping point will occur. People will wake up. People will realize honesty and integrity is important, and whatever this thing is the Democrats have been trying to put upon us will be exposed, and then all your hard work and you're kind of like behind the scenes will now be evolved into a more empowerment version of yourself, and you'll be prepared. Now, I'm the exception to this rule because they've been stopping me, however, stealing my ideas and then recreating them as if they belong to them. However, they have no experience and they aren't grounded in anything but the 7 deadly sins and an overthrow of people who are intelligent, honest, and have integrity, to recreate it as in we have a tyrant, corrupt president in office who can barely stand on his 2 feet. That's why people like him, though, if you want to take that into consideration, because they can do pretty much whatever they want without repercussions. The youth, if you remember yourself being in your 20s and your 30s, you were kind of like finding, at least we were like I was finding myself. You know, you kind of like, I had an ethic moral code compass that kept me in alignment, but I was always kind of like tiptoeing across the line just a little. And for me personally, I do remember myself being very vulnerable to outside invitations, trusting in that person that they would protect me. And that is a lot of what is going on here with these folks, meaning they ain't protecting you. They just pretending to protect you. So when this tipping point tips, you're going to be left in jail because what you are doing is illegal. And that's unique to each and every individual. But let's not even just stop there. Your existence on this planet is coming to a close, meaning you made your bed and now you must lie in it. And that's for not all of you, but for some of you, meaning karma is real and you may not experience it when you're 25, when you're 35, when you're 38, but you will experience it at some point in existence because you do die. Everyone goes to the grave and then you don't understand what happens post life. And so you may be living some bougie life on some fancy yacht, flying in some fancy jet, wearing a fancy dress with a fancy boyfriend as you parade your children in a suit in 90-degree weather. But karma is real, and you will get yours. And those that are supporting it will also get theirs too, in some level or some form. Now, with that being said, everything is psychological. The psychology game of the mass pressure of like news media and what's in pop culture is a pressure point. It's like a pressure pot. Now, right now, what's occurring is a pressure pot is closed. It's like the Instapot. You know, everyone's in this Instapot with the lid closed, and it's like boiling inside, right? So that's what's going on with these people on the inside, while on the outside they occur to each and every one of you as if they're up to something of pleasantries. As if they're up to something of pleasantry for themselves. But the reality is that fame train ends, and it ends rough, sharp, and very quickly. And it's even worse than what people will say about cancel culture, because people who have been cancel cultured, such as Joe Rogan, actually had 2 feet to stand on. Meaning they actually had talent. They didn't utilize the internet to grow their awareness game. Whereas these content creators grew their platforms off of shallow, accidental, self-serving content with no education. None of them have been to college. They party as if that's the normal way to live, as if that's like a normal, enjoyable place to go to these weird clubs and experience all these weird energies. Not normal behavior. I like to tell people that I used to party a lot, but the kind of places that I would party at were like in the eyes of LA and the eyes of New York, are like a private bar with like me and 4 friends, or like your regulars that would come in, and you knew like they weren't going to bother you. And if they did bother you, you could say, get the hell away, and it would be no big deal. And then every now and then, a stranger from out of town would come to this small little club that barely fit 500 people. You knew the bartenders. You knew they wouldn't slip you anything in your drinks. We're talking old days, folks. And you knew that you were going to make it home safe because you're part of a group of girls or people that had your back. Meaning the day and age of evolution in these 20s and 30s is they're going to steal your boyfriend, they're going to take it, they're going to put it on film, and then they're going to post it on a platform, and then you're going to be cancel cultured. So the evolution in this, as we evolve in content creation, is gotten to the point of like extreme diabolical behavior, meaning the young youth who used to poop their pants in 2nd grade are now being videotaped. And then it's posted on a platform, and millions of people are going, "Aw, you poor thing." And then the other half of those millions are going, "You are dumb." And instead of a private experience that whenever you're willing to share when you're a leader, everybody knows about it. And you already have a version in yourself of low self-esteem, because people are not taking into account the psychology of all of this. Meaning, I've advanced in psychology while you all are still stuck in pre-psychology days. Meaning, you're still living in a time of Sigmund Freud, who didn't have internet. Not to mention, even those conversations that he was having weren't exactly the best kind of conversations. He was a man in a closed box in a time of closed-mindedness. Meaning the evolution of society has evolved. However, we're still watching people make up crap that isn't true, and now they're regurgitating it all over a platform for millions of people who worship them. Pressure pot. Meaning you're in a dangerous game when the person wakes up to the realization of how you suppress them in their relationships. Dangerous as in your life will be at risk. So you're over there partying and posing on the yacht with your bikini tops and all your other junk that you're trying to prove. However, people are inside them are busting at the seams of pain, and you're the ones responsible for it. See, the difference between me and a lot of these content creators is I'm authentic, I'm original, I'm education. I don't hold back my emotions, meaning when I'm angry, you get angry and then you blast it off on me and I feel it. But guess what I do then? I give you what you deserve. Meaning there ain't no beef between us. We honest and we straight. And that's the way you live your relationships and existence. And once this wave of nonsense with these social media content creators like levels out, we'll be able to actually have real conversations, where those kinds of conversations where I used to have to raise my voice and push information on you because you were so blocked, will now just be a conversation and you going, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I definitely did that, but let me take a look a little bit more in depth on how I was behaving. But I am going to take full responsibility. I do realize that I'm still on my lesson of learning in this journey. I'm only 22 years old. And just to let you 20-somethings-year-olds know, you're not my friend. See, a lot of these big-time bigwigs who grew their platforms off of friendship off of you didn't realize the repercussions of the buddy system when it comes to growing a platform. Meaning, I'm a mentor, not your friend. Because as soon as you open the door to friendship to some of these people, they take advantage of it, they try to abuse you, and they make your information less valuable. You see, I've tried it both ways with y'all. I tried to do the little nicey thing. I tried to show you with humor. I tried to show you with comedy. I tried to show you with all sorts of different ways. However, the only thing that really gets your attention is when you get this version of me here. Because you're so lost in your explanation of yourselves, you don't know what's up or what's down. You live in pie in the sky. People are on these platforms teaching you pie in the sky. Because if you understand pie in the sky as in an invisible space of you're never going to get there, which is what hope is. Hope is like interesting because it does have its place to keep you progressing forward. However, too much hope is like water in air with no end in sight, and you're just like a wandering soul. I hope I see you. I don't see you. Where are you? I was hoping to see you. You're not here. Tough. I hope to get this done by 3 o'clock tomorrow. Hey, it's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't get it done. Oh, because you were procrastinating. Let's see. I wanted to bring up a couple conversations around ROI, which is return on investment. See, a lot of these platforms are generating free availability for you to produce informative care for your audience. However, for some reason, you gave people free virality, and then you all of a sudden stopped the free virality. Because you started making money off of them, and they were sellouts. However, the return on investment is the opposite of what you actually think. So you've got to take a look at it as dumping in money. However, that money is going to decrease. Because the audience is not that stupid. They're smarter than you think they are, especially as we evolve out of this 4-year psychosis of the Obama administration. See, these kids are living in the now. However, they don't live into the future. They're not living in the future. They're living in that they have millions of dollars right now, and all the money's coming in. Happens every time someone wins the lottery. A man who's homeless wins the lottery. He ends up back homeless because he got 6,000 pairs of jeans. Not to mention, if you're any middle class person who's won the lottery or low level class of person who's won the lottery, that all that money makes you insane because now everybody comes out of the woodworks trying to take from you. Same thing with content creators. However, when you're that age and return on investment is money, you're investing in manipulation to receive manipulation back. So what you put out is what you receive. So for example, when I'm discussing creative consulting and you're going to go, oh my gosh, that price is so expensive, return on investment. So how much have you invested in my content, free content? Free? So how is this valuable to you? You didn't pay for it. So when you're receiving something for free, you have no appreciation for it. You just literally watch it, you judge it, and then nothing comes of it. So value comes in the form of context, but it also comes in the form of payment, because that's the way we thrive in society. That's the way we thrive in society. So a lot of people want to take from people and then they don't want to pay them. Meaning, anytime I've ever signed up for a seminar or a product, I never had any, I had some thoughts in my mind that I couldn't afford it, which is always the story. However, I knew that if I invested my money and my time, and I was dedicated to that thing that I was committed to, that my life would change. So if you're not willing to invest money in yourself, then why should I invest my time in you? Because there's two things, time and money.